It's about that time of day again here, boys and girls. Man, it feels good to be back. Newsletter time. My name is Joseph James for SchoolOfTrade.com. SidewaysMarkets.com is our blog address. Welcome back to your nightly newsletter. It is October 27th, 2014. That's right. Back from the dead. Guys and gals, I owe you all a big apology and a gratitude for staying patient with me last week. I got completely run over by a flu bug. That's what I get for leaving my house, right? That's what I get for going out in that crazy world of ours. All kidding aside, though, almost back to normal, right? Whatever that normal was, right? I know, I heard those jokes. Almost back to normal here today, though. What a great day. Couldn't have picked a better way to come back from a flu bug last week. Boy, I'll tell you, I really missed you guys. I really missed the newsletter. I missed all the action. Well, I didn't miss all the action. I was there in the morning last week, but boy, I was exhausted. Had to get some rest on there. So, what happened? Well, we're going to jump right back into our newsletter here. Get back on track here today. Today is October 27th, 2014. Before I jump into today's charts, before we talk about the plan here for tomorrow, I want to remind you guys, get on over here to SidewaysMarkets.com. At SidewaysMarkets.com, our trading blog. Make sure you're watching this video right now on our blog. There's 3 important reasons why you need to make sure that you follow the link below the video in the YouTube video. If you're watching this on YouTube, if you're watching it anywhere else on the web, I'm not sure why that should be anywhere else on the web, but make sure you get over here to Sideways Markets. 3 different reasons. First, you can download all my charts here for tonight. Right below tonight's video, you can download all the charts I'm going to talk about tonight and have those ready for tomorrow. Second thing here, upper left-hand corner, I have a free pass for you guys. Come out and join me in my live trade room. I know, right? How good is that? Maybe you're wondering how we use these levels. Maybe you're wondering what it feels like to be inside of our trade room, right? Maybe you're not a member yet of School of Trade, but you're thinking, this looks like a place where I can really start learning while I'm earning. I got a free pass for you guys. Come out and test drive our trade room any day this week, next week, whenever it's easiest for you. And then third thing here, lower left-hand corner, I've got my nightly newsletter mailing list. That's right. I'd like to send you an email every evening just before 8 p.m. Eastern Time when I send out my nightly newsletter. That way you'll never miss another night again. All right, guys? 3 things on the blog here at Sideways Markets. First thing, download today's charts. There's a link below the video tonight. Second thing, upper left-hand corner, grab your free pass. And third, don't forget, join that nightly newsletter, lower left-hand corner. Guys, real quick, if you join the newsletter mailing list or if you register for your free pass, don't forget to check your email. I'm going to send you an email to make sure that you aren't a robot, all right? Send you a verification email. All right, guys, helmets on, seatbelts fastened. What a crazy day today. What happened today? Boy, markets were, well, we've got FOMC later on this week. We've got a bunch of just turmoil, right, bubbling up here right now. I'll tell you right now, it is awesome to be a trader right now. I feel a little bit sorry for those poor suckers that got to predict this stuff a few weeks out, right? I would not want to be the person that needs to give 2 weeks of guidance. But 2 days of guidance, right? 2 hours of guidance. Guys, this has been fun. This has been fun. And we had a nice fun session today. A little bit sloppy at the beginning, but boy, did we start picking up the pace right towards the middle of the morning here. And then late in the afternoon, a very, very good day here in our trade room here at School of Trade. And hopefully you had a great day as well. Let's roll those sleeves up. I'm going to start with the Russell here tonight. And we'll jump right in here and see what this Russell is trying to tell us. I've got 3 steps here at School of Trade, 3 steps to success. Step number 1, define the trend. Step number 2, with that trend, find a setup. And then step number 3, find the entry trigger inside of that setup. These are our 3 steps to success. We've been using these 3 steps to success for short-term trading, long-term trading, works on every market. Let's take a look at the Russell. What's my trend right now? Well, the little Russell that could. We stayed above the line in the sand. If you remember from last week, right before I almost passed out from the flu. I was going to use a couple other words there, but I'll keep my opinions to myself on that. But before I almost bit the dust last week from this flu bug, it wasn't that bad, but it was actually mild compared to the flu I got last year. I got this horrible flu last year. This year it was relatively easy. But bottom line though is we stayed above that line in the sand here, 1095.8. Remember, we had to get above it, pull back, and stay above it. Here we are. Buyers in control right now. We have a cool new indicator here called the JJ trend, right? And that tells us we're bullish right now. So I'm definitely bullish on my anchor chart. I want to be a buyer right now long term. Where's my next buy setup going to be? That's right, down bottom here, 1079.5, 1056.2. I've got two easy areas right now for clear buy setups. I can also add in a reversal line here as well. We'll say 1095 for the reversal line. Most important thing about this chart, though, is we can clearly see the buyers have ripped that control back out of the hands of the sellers, and now those buyers, it appears, are in full control over this market. Let's keep going. Now that we know what it looks like long-term right now, what's our short-term look like? On the 32 here for the Russell, you can see quite a bit on this chart here real quick. What's my trend on this chart? We're bullish here as well. I can see green clouds, higher highs, higher lows. A lot on this chart right here, right? There's a lot on this chart right now. If I zoom out on this nice and far here, you can see where I found this channel from. You can also download this big zoomed out chart by clicking the link below the video tonight. When I zoom back in though, you can start seeing here, we just finished making higher highs, right? We got some higher lows. And we just finished this pullback. So it looks like if you're coming in late, here, you've missed the best opportunity down bottom here earlier today. We actually bought that today in our trade room. It was a huge trade. We saw the pullback already, so we already got the buy at a discount. Now I've got to stay patient. If you missed the buy down at this low here, you missed it, right? Wait patiently now for the best buy, possibly tomorrow. And what I'll be doing is using this trend line, right? Using this channel line, and I'll keep buying this low. Bottom line is, what's my trend? Again, same thing, 3 steps to success. What's my trend? Trend is bullish. How do I know? Well, Joe, there's a big green box staring you right in the face right there. How's that for proof? Well, okay, so the indicator tells me it's bullish, but I can also see, again, higher highs, higher lows, right? Green clouds, above all the key moving averages, right? Step number 1, find my trend. We're bullish. I want to be a buyer. Step number 2, find my setup. Where's the buy setup? See, that's what I'm talking about, right? We already missed it. Well, didn't miss it. We took it earlier this morning. But if this is the first time you're thinking about buying the Russell right now, do not buy right here. Where would the next buy setup be? Well, let's play the whole game. What if price goes higher? What if price goes lower? What if price goes sideways? Where would the next buy setup be? If price goes higher, we're going to have to recalculate, wait for a buy, and then get it on a pullback, which will probably use this trend line. So don't be shy to use that trend line if we go higher on a pullback. Now, obviously, if we go higher here, I'm going to have to update these levels here because new higher highs will shake up this chart a little bit. So if we do make a new higher high overnight, in other words, if we go above 1120.1, if we make it above 1120.1, I'm going to read volume just a little bit, make sure the buyers confirm that move, and then we're going to reanalyze, right? We're going to recalculate, and we're going to look for buy and pullbacks. So right now, if we go higher, we got to pay close attention to this area right here, right there, because I could easily see this thing just kind of going range bound because tomorrow's the first day of FOMC. I could easily see it going range bound. Whatever you do, do not buy this Russell right now. Wait for it to pull back. You've missed the easy money on this. And again, use this trend line. Use that recent trend line that I drew in, right? That'll be a great spot to buy. And also, too, don't forget about this little sneaky trend line. Wait for it to go up, pull back, and then buy it. Just make sure you wait for a higher high before you go buying this Russell. I've got targets waiting for you here. It's 27.7, 35.4, and 45.1, right? We got 3 profit targets waiting for you guys overhead on this Russell. What about one more thing. Down the bottom here. Make sure you see at the bottom, we've analyzed our volume, right? Higher highs in price, higher highs in volume. Definitely confirms the bulls are in control. Most importantly, you can see, look at the volume rising here today as the price is rising, right? Picking up steam as it's going higher. Now, what I'm afraid of is, and again, I'm kind of reading between the lines a little bit right now, going into I was going to say non-farm payrolls. That's another very important news report, but that won't be until 2 weeks from now, right? Not this Friday, next Friday. But we have the FOMC announcement coming on Wednesday. The meeting starts tomorrow. Now, everybody's hinging around every word they're saying right now. So, again, if we see it go up to the high here and then stop, we know, wait for it to pull back and then buy it, right? So we're really watching closely right now if this thing tries to make new highs. If it just blows right through it, then obviously we know what we're doing, right? Then we're going to recalculate and look to keep buying here. Last but not blah, 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 blah. Sorry, the medicine head's still wearing off from last week. Was that English, Joe? Was that English? I don't think that was. Last but not least, you guys are lucky I'm a day trading teacher, right? Not an English teacher or a math teacher. Bottom line, though, here, final chart, 16 anchor. You can see we have a trifecta, literally a hat trick over here. All the anchor charts are bullish right now. No questions about it. I'm looking to be a buyer. I don't get a lot more out of this 16 chart. One thing I do see, though, is 2 short-term buy zones that will apply here possibly tomorrow or overnight. I have a funny feeling, though, we are going to make new highs overnight. That means I'm going to be in my trade room tomorrow recalculating and planning those pullbacks for you guys tomorrow. Tomorrow, what I'll do is I'm going to come in first thing tomorrow morning. I'm going to look and see, do we get a new high right there? If we got a new high, what did the volume look like down bottom, right? How did that volume look as we went to a new high? Because that's going to tell me the truth. That's going to tell me whether or not this is just a stop run or if this is really those bulls continuing this move. Be very much aware, though, I would not be surprised if we see this Russell go into a little wedge scenario here, right, tomorrow in the session. If that's the case, stay patient and wait to buy at the lows. That's why I said earlier, and I've said a couple times, this is not where you want to be buying right now in the Russell. So stay patient on that Russell, wait for a pullback, right, and then buy that Russell. Moving forward here from the mighty Russell over here to that funny yellow metal they call gold futures. What happened? Seriously, what happened? I leave for a couple days on a stretcher, albeit, but you get the point, right? I'm out of here for a couple days here, and I come back, and now gold's bearish. What did all the clouds just disappear? All the rain clouds are gone, and we're all holding hands, right? Obama and Putin, right? They're singing Christmas carols together. What happened? Is everything back to okay? Of course not. What's happening right now? Why is gold pushing lower? Gold is a market that is going to be consolidating heavily ahead of again, see, there you go, non-farm payrolls. What am I thinking? Again, ahead of the FOMC meeting tomorrow. All right, why? Why is gold going to consolidate ahead of the FOMC meeting? Well, because the FOMC meeting, what are they talking about? What's the big thing we find out on Wednesday at 2 o'clock? I'm going to talk more about that in a moment too. Don't forget. But what do we get? We get the announcement. What is the announcement? It's what changes they're making to what? The monetary policy of the Federal Reserve Bank. Monetary policy. That's a fancy word for whether we're going to keep rates low, keep printing more money, more bailouts, more quantitative easing, and all of that does what? It goes right to gold, it goes right to the dollar, and the rest of it goes to the rest of the emerging currencies around the world. So we know that right now we've got a big news report coming out on Wednesday. The meeting starts on Tuesday morning. We'll talk about that in a moment during the last part of this newsletter. One thing we know for sure right now is that I can't imagine this gold, right, is really bearish right now, but it sure as heck looks like it, doesn't it? right? It sure as heck looks like it right now. It's really difficult to call this thing bearish, but hey, the chart doesn't lie right now, right? I don't understand it, and if you're trying to figure it all out right now, you're going to have a headache, right? Nobody understands everything right now. That's the best part about our job. I make a killing every day in the market, really, for the most part, not really understanding why. I know where, I know when. That's all I need to know. I don't need to know why. So again, I have no answer for you right now why gold's pushing lower, with the one exception of we get FOMC tomorrow. So we're back below that key resistance, right? I'll take my foot out of my mouth. I thought we were going to be at 1266 by 2 weeks ago. But clearly this market is not ready to be a bull yet. I love it. You got to love this stuff. You got to love this stuff. There's no rhyme or reason. Well, there is, right? Nothing is random. But the average trader, we really don't need to worry about it. Let's keep going. What else do we see here? Okay, so we get a bearish trend on the 64. And oh boy, here we go. The first domino drops. The first domino drops. Here's my 32. I was wondering what the rest of these charts would look like, right? I'm surprised to see gold bearish right now. But look at this. Here we go. Here's the proof in the pudding. You've got the lower lows. Now, we do have a recent higher high here, as you can see, right? That higher high definitely is there in price. When we combine those, though, you'll notice here, though, we get a very, very difficult environment to really anticipate here, right? So we got the higher high in volume, the higher high in price. That confirms the move up. But then all of a sudden, things shift, right? Late last week, we break this support trend line, and now we're headed lower. Now we see price moving lower. We see volume moving higher. Clearly, somewhere between last Thursday, Friday, and Monday morning, these sellers said, okay, let's get back to work. I don't care why, nor do I need to know why. I've got some key support here at 1223.9 right now, 1223.9. That's my line in the sand right now. We get back below it, and if you're wondering, yes, that is the same exact level that we had earlier, right? This level hasn't changed at all. This has been here for a while. Remember we said this earlier, right? Propped back above it early October, right? And pushed higher. Now they're having a hard time keeping it above it. Targets to the downside, 1219.5, 1198.8, 83.3. Those are easy targets here to the downside as we start selling short on the gold. Sell zones here, 1240.4, 1249.1. We're looking short here on gold right now, but I really want to make sure that we get below this 23.9. In my opinion, that is a very, very important area on this chart. We get below 23.9, we're going right to 19.5. Now, what we may see is we may see it slop here, right? We may see it get stuck. Again, a lot of what's going on right now, I have to blame a little bit on tomorrow's beginning of the FOMC meeting, right? I have to think that is probably causing buyers to get out of their longs. Sellers, it doesn't look like they've taken too much control yet. But again, you can see, though, by looking at this chart, the higher highs last week, now lower lows this week, both on volume. Okay, so somewhere between late last week and early this week, the overall personality shifted. Maybe it was wise traders getting out of their buys right now ahead of at the beginning of the announcement tomorrow, right? We'll have to wait and see. How about my 16? Look at the 16. You got nothing but bears here. Here's my 16 anchor, nothing but bears. Lower lows, lower highs. I've got some targets waiting for you down here, 22.2, 18.7, and the low of this channel, right, will definitely be a good target for you on the way down. Now, as I always say, I do not like to sell the lows, and we just made a new lower low there, short term on the gold 16. So I've got two sell zones for you here, 30.1, 32.9, and then you got one more up top here, will be at 40.4. Members, don't forget about that high here at about 35.9. We'll say 35 even. So 12, 35 even. Look for a double top there, right? Look for a double top right? That'd be a double top setup. Okay, so right now, what's my trend on gold? What's my trend? Trend is bearish. Where's my sell setup? That's my second step to success. Very important, right? Don't sell right here. Don't sell this right here. Okay, wait for that retrace off that low and sell it up at that 30.1, 32.9, 35, even 40.4. All right? Do not be surprised if gold is really almost lifeless over the next 24 to 36 hours. All right? You're going to see it literally lose its pulse ahead of this FOMC announcement on Wednesday. This is, and I know we say this every time, but it seems like every time the FOMC comes around, something pivotal is hanging in the wings. Let's wrap up here with my favorite market, the crude oil futures, the black gold, the Texas tea. Now you can see we are still well below those early 2014 lows. We projected new lows back in March this year. I mean, this was an incredible move lower for us. Right? Most of us here in this office made our P&Ls for the entire year when we went from 95 to 85, right? It was relatively quick and painless. Now, what's my trend? I got a downtrend, right? Lower lows, lower highs, red clouds, below all the key moving averages. Where's my sell setups? 86.60, 90.92. You might get a couple mixed in there in between. Double top up here at 94.16, 94.16, double top. I doubt we get there tomorrow. Now, guys, I'm not going to go anywhere near all the rumors that we hear flying around right now. All right, there's a lot of junk out there in this market. Heck, about 10 days ago, I got a call from a buddy of mine off the street, and he said all the big banks are gearing up to buy crude right now. And I said, okay, well, we'll see how that goes. Then today we heard from Goldman that they're projecting now $75 a barrel. How quickly we turn. They must have been listening to my newsletter over the past 6 months. But the reality is whether it's Kuwait, Iran, Saudi Arabia, the U.S., Russia, I don't care who it is. Everybody's got an opinion of where this thing's going right now. The only thing I care about is price action. Forget about all the hoopla. Forget about all the fear-mongering. All I care about is what the chart tells me. If you've been with me all year this year, I've been telling you that all year this year. Go back. You can watch my first video of 2014. Right? I'm sure I said something around those exact words. Forget about what the news media is painting right now and just trade the chart. Trade what you see, not what you think. We all heard this before. What's my trend here now? 32 anchor chart on crude. What's my trend? I'm down, right? We got red clouds, below all the key moving averages, lower lows, lower highs. We're down trending, right? My indicators are all red, very easy to see. What direction are we trending in right now, right? 3 steps success. What's my trend? Trend is down. Where's my setup? Jackpot. We got setups right here, right now. This is the first time tonight we've seen markets that are ready to get trading right now. I've got 80.91, 81.25. That's my first sell zone. I've got symmetry right around 81.60. I've got a trigger zone number 2, 81.74 to 82.31. Don't forget possible double top. Members, I marked up the most important highs here. Right? I marked up the most important highs here, 84.09, 83.26, 82.37. Those are going to be your areas for, again, double top, back down. Looking to sell here right now on crude. And we got some nice tasty targets here. 79.04. Is that 77.90? Absolutely it is. 77.90 is where I'd be looking to take my profit later on this week if we don't start making higher highs. All right, guys? Trend is down. I want to sell. Where do I sell? 80.91, symmetry, 81.74, 83.09. Then again, double top, 82.37, double top, 83.26, double top, 84.09. You may have to wait for it tomorrow, but I don't think you have to wait too long here. We're looking for sells right now on crude. This is a great example of a market that is bearish and not at the lows. See the difference? Right? That market is bearish, but it's at the lows, right? I'm sorry, this market right here, right? Here's gold. Gold is bearish, but it's at the lows. I don't want to sell at the lows. Would you sell your brand new home at the bottom of the market? No. You'd rather sell your new home, right? Where? At the top of the market. You'd rather sell it at a high price. So would I. So on gold, I get to wait. On crude oil, no need to wait at all. All I need now is the entry trigger. Trend is down. Setup is being tested. What's the third step? The entry trigger. Now we look for that two-step pattern, that wave reversal. We look for the three-point reversal, or we look for a wave pattern. Now we look for the entry trigger, right, after the test of our trade setup. Last but not see, I can't even say, it won't come off the tongue tonight. Must be that medicine head still wearing off. Honestly, this morning I thought I was seeing triple when I get to the office today. I was like, all right, let's take it easy here. Finally, all the medicine wears off from that flu bug. I'll tell you, boy, nasty stuff. Last but not least here, I got to work on the old ingrace for next time. I'll work on that. Last but not least, the 16 anchor chart here on the old crude. What's my trend? Trend is down, lower lows, lower highs, right? Red clouds. We got the short term, we moved higher a little bit. You can see we went from dark red up here to light red, right? So now we get a light red here for the 16, which means one of these clouds has turned green. Not the big deal though. I've got sell zones here right now to capitalize on this downtrend: 80.91, 81.74, 82.31, and 83.09. Now, members, I had to blend a couple of these together, okay? I had to blend a couple of those zones together. So when you're doing your own analysis, don't be afraid to ask for help tomorrow. I had to blend a couple of those together because they were overlapping, all right, just so you're aware. And then again, don't be surprised if we go to that 82.37, look for that double top pattern there, double top setup there, double top here, 83.26. Doesn't matter to me where we get short, guys. All I know is we are looking for sells right now on crude, and all you need is that entry pattern to get short right now. Okay, targets to the downside here, 79.74, 79.04. And then remember, I gave you guys some wider targets on that 32. So use that 32 for that 77.90, that wider target. All of these charts, by the way, can be downloaded on our blog this evening, right? Let's wrap up here with some news. Looking at our news for tomorrow. Now that you guys know my strategy here for tonight, right? We got crude going lower. I've got gold going lower and Russell going higher, right? Relatively easy. Out of all the markets that we saw tonight, though, gold is the one market I am worried about. Not worried, but I'll caution you ahead of the FOMC report on Wednesday, right? These 2 days before the FOMC report, gold might not be where I bet the farm, all right? Unless of course, you like taking risk. Let's wrap up here with some news. We have no major news on the calendar for us tonight. I've got some minor news here from Japan tonight. The major news isn't until tomorrow night in Japan, the industrial production report. What do we got here for Tuesday, October 28th? FOMC meeting begins, right? Like I said earlier, that meeting begins tomorrow, and then we'll have the report tomorrow afternoon. So over literally the next 36 hours, just be aware you're going to see gold consolidate, and you're going to start hearing from all these politicians, all these Fed speakers. Everyone is going to have an opinion. Turn the radio off. Turn the television off. Turn off the chat windows. Turn all of it off. It's all going to be junk. It's all speculation, right? It's nothing more than high school gossip, right, ahead of the senior prom. There's nothing of reality these 36 hours before FOMC. Right? So try to ignore it and just focus on your charts. FOMC meeting begins tomorrow morning here in the U.S. We then jump down. I'll tell you, they had a horrible stress test out of Italy. Italy is really struggling right now. We're going to hear from manufacturing and mining at 5 a.m. tomorrow morning in Europe. I really don't think it matters. I mean, right now, the EU is all battered and bruised right now. Italy's got 2 black eyes. They're broken legs. I think they said something like 65% of all the bank stress tests failed out of Italy. Mostly smaller banks, right? Mostly smaller banks, but again, I mean, it's concerning. That's for sure. Not sure how much it's going to affect me, but it's definitely concerning. So we have the 5 o'clock manufacturing from Italy tomorrow. Again, I don't think a lot of that's very important. I think the most important stuff tomorrow will be down here where we're start up here at 8:30. I got durable goods orders at 8:30 a.m. tomorrow morning. We then go down to Case-Shiller home price index at 9 o'clock, consumer confidence at 10 o'clock, and then we don't have anything else until that later on in the evening, right, the initial production from Japan. So we've got big news tomorrow. FOMC begins. That really isn't much of an impact for tomorrow. It's more just telling you, be aware of that. And then we got 8:30 a.m. durable goods orders. That's my meat and potatoes tomorrow, right? That's where the good stuff happens tomorrow. 8:30 a.m. So we think about this and we know now we're going to get early morning price action tomorrow. So be ready for those extensions tomorrow of the range. And then don't forget, early morning moves often mean late morning reversals. So we'll be looking for early morning moves tomorrow morning, and then, hey, we'll see if we can get some late morning reversals like we saw today, right? Wouldn't that be nice? So tomorrow morning, 8:30 a.m., we've got 9 a.m. and 10 a.m. So really early morning moves. I would definitely be looking for that reversal, though, right around 10:45, 11 o'clock. Oh, one more thing. How could I forget? Our friends in Europe, they rolled their clocks back over the weekend. So we've got daylight savings time. Oh, right. As if we needed something else to be thrown into the mix here right now. We have a disconnect now, only temporary, until the 10th, until the first Saturday in November when we roll our clocks back. So we have daylight savings time has already kicked in Europe, right? So 11:30 European closing bell turns to 12:30 Eastern time. Okay, it's still 11:30 gamut, but it's now 12:30 Eastern time. Bottom line is look for the reversal around 11:30 Eastern time, right? But don't be surprised if it comes a little bit later, right? Because again, daylight savings time has already kicked into effect in Europe. We will do it here in the U.S. and then we'll be back on the same schedule again. But the next week or so is always a little bit odd late in the morning because U.S. traders are used to seeing prices change direction at 11:30. Right, or pick up speed at 11:30. Now that 11:30 gets pushed back to 12:30. I would be happy to clarify more of this with you guys. Come in and see me tomorrow morning. We'll go over the entire morning routine tomorrow. We'll analyze our trends. We'll find our setups. We'll find our entry patterns, and we're going to have another amazing day. Well, I'll tell you, trading is fun right now. It really is. I know it. I know if you turn the television set on right now, they make it sound like the sky's falling out there, and it definitely is pretty choppy waters out there. But I'll tell you, if you know what you're looking for, there is a lot of money to be made right now, and we've been having a great month of October. Guys and gals, I want to thank you so much for being here today. Thank you for stopping by the trade room here this afternoon with us. It was great to meet all the new guests here at School of Trade and members. You guys killed it today. You guys killed it today. So give yourselves a pat on the back today. Today was a great example of following that plan and getting paid well. Good job. Before I wrap you guys up today, don't forget, head over here to SchoolOfTrade.com. I get a free trial here at School of Trade. We've got 3 levels of membership, beginner, intermediate, and advanced, and I've got someone standing by here. Yep, and that's exactly what she looks like right there. Right, I got someone standing by here 24 hours a day, 365 to give you guys some information if you need any help. All right, don't forget, join the trial, share this information with a friend, download today's charts, grab your free pass, join the newsletter. Guys, there's a lot of good stuff here we covered tonight. I will see you, boys and girls, same bat time, same bat channel. Tomorrow morning, trade room opens up at 8 a.m. Eastern time. We'll kick it off with our morning routine, and I'll be right back here to see you guys again tomorrow night. Same time, same place, right back in our nightly newsletter. My name is Joseph, back from the dead today, although I think I might have been drinking earlier, right? Couldn't quite get the words out of the mouth today. That's all right. We'll get the old tongue reconditioned. We're back again for another session again tomorrow. Have yourselves a great evening. Adios, amigos. Bye-bye for now.